Greetings, everybody. I'm High Priest Aaren, by Tabernacle of God, and welcome to an inside of the actual tabernacle. So, I want you guys to be able to see what's going on. So, we got two things going on. We got wheat, which are people who are obedient to God. Everything that God has said, 21 hashvan, 5,800 5,783 or something, 5,783 or something like that. People have been doing, but people who are not doing this are doing anything else, and anything else other than what God is saying is considered to be wheat. And so, weed. So anything that God is saying do is wheat, and anything that is not of God is weed. And so weed and wheat grow together all the way until God's judgment. And then God separates the obedient and takes them into heaven. And then the disobedient, the weed, he burns in actual lake of fire. So this is really happening right now. It's been going on for like 5,783 years. I mean, nearly 6,000 years. This has been going on every single day of every single year. All right, so we got two things going on. When you go into the casino, you're able to see heaven, what it looks like. According to John of Patmos, all right, who witnessed it. And this is a real account of what actual heaven looks like. I'm not lying. I mean, this is what I've actually kept. And then you get an opportunity to go to heaven. So the actual heaven, you can go there. You can actually go there. And then, but you'll find that getting in is different. You can go there, but getting in is completely different. And so that's another process. You can go into heaven in this process. And then there's another process. You'll find out you're just there. But there's a such thing as having treasures in heaven. And that's another process. So, you can go to the store, but if you don't have anything, no money or something to trade, then how are you going to get something from the store? So we got four processes. You get a chance to see heaven, go to heaven, get in heaven, and have treasures in heaven. But while that's going on, we've got Sony PlayStations. You got Sony PlayStation 1, you got Sony PlayStation 2, you got Sony PlayStation 3, you got Sony PlayStation 4, and you got Sony PlayStation 5. All right, so you got every single game that Sony PlayStation has came out with in each of those games, systems. All right, and while that's going on, so you can sit down and you can you just pay like a minimum wage, like $8, $15, something like that, and then you can sit there for the whole hour, and so you can play any game in that hour. You know what I'm saying? And then and that's it. And so there's also sit bliss. You can sit down in these chairs and you can get massages. You can get table massages. You can wash up and get groomed before your massages. All right, so we got another thing, and that is the gym. You can actually exercise your full body. You can do push-ups, sit-ups, jumping jacks, squats, and leg lifts. You can do stretches. You can do dances, and so that's another thing you can do. Another thing you can do is karaoke. You can do karaoke in 195 countries. All right, so while all of that's going on, we got some attractions. One of the attractions is an Ark of Gopherwood. So you can come to an ark and go for wood to washed up upon the mountains of Ararat, and inside of this ark of gopher wood, you will have all of the sorts of living creatures, fowls, creeping things, cattle, beasts of the field, all of them. And you will have like 7 clean males, 7 clean female, 2 unclean male, 2 unclean female. But you will have 2 of every sort also, aside of the fowls. So you will have, both male and female, and you will have enough there for sacrifices. All right, so what that's going on, you got all manners of food that you eat. You got all of the fruits, you got all of the vegetables, you got all of the herb building seeds. So it's gonna be raining. It's gonna be a lot of negative people, places, and things, and then it's gonna be evil people and wicked people. These are people who sin and are the cause of sin, and then they also are becoming negative with people, places, and things, sinning and causing sin in your area and trying to do things to you to stop you from getting into the Ark of Way. So you can experience that too. And so you can stay there inside of the Ark for 151 days. 150 days, 152 days, something like that, 151 days. And there you can name all of you can get a good judgment with God. So you can feed yourself, your family, you can feed the sorts of living creatures and stuff, right? All right, so we got that attraction. And then so you can get an everlasting covenant between God and every living creature of all flesh. We got another attraction where you can get filled with the Holy Spirit. So you got all of the different languages, the alphabets, and then the numbers, and then greetings, and then different things regarding just all of the words of the Holy Bible and all of the words of the Torah. So we offer that, the actual word scroll, and then we got in every language of all of the 195 countries. And so we offer that. Another one of the attractions that we offer is the slingshot. You can actually win with speed. You can speed win. You can connect. You can collect things to connect in order to and you can endure in order to win very, very fast within 30 seconds to 3 minutes. So we got that as another attraction, and then we got what else? There's a couple of main attractions there. Well, anyways, so we got different things going on in the atrium. The atrium, you can buy TV shows, movies, games, films, art, but these are legal art, no engraving images, an antiquity artifact. You can buy music, you can buy radio programs, all of these different things. And then, so that's it. So you got 2 options. You can sit here and play games all day, or you can actually look at what's going on in the same area in the 4 directions. You can look at heaven, you can go to heaven, you can get in heaven, you can have treasures in heaven. And so that's what we got going on. And so Joe Biden tried to rob me, and then in the process of trying to rob me, he tried to kill me. Then he wanted me to tell you that all of this inappropriate stuff, so that he can get a snake in Japan and China, so that if I ever go, no, I won't even get a chance to go nowhere. He can just run around the United States of America with this serpent and this snake. All right, the next thing he tried to do was the ransom that he established with, these are the ransomers that he used. Claire Mayer, Stephanie Regler, Tim Aaren, Nick Billings, Wong, Clark, Clausen, Steele, Mayette, Dorsey, Dudley, Ho, Honda, let me think, Jameson, Washington, Sexton, Clark, Steve, Brian, Dr. Reines, Dr. Van Gaspy, Dr. White, Dr. Yee, Dr. Flaminsky, Dr. Maurice Ganau. These are different things that he did. So he tortured. He used this actual muscle memory failure. It's a needle syringe, and he pokes it into like your muscle, or or anywhere in your body, and in your vein, anywhere he can get it in there. It just has to get inside of your body. It's called Flaminsky. And then once he squirts it in you, then he get and so it collapses your muscles. That's how this eye right here got collapsed, and the left side of my neck, it got collapsed. All right. So another thing that he did was he had gases in the air vents that makes your eyes burn, and he fed you heroin for 3 years. And so he would take you off of heroin periodically, but you had to eat it in a meal, or he had to inject it inside of your veins. All right, so he was trying to get the slavery BB Jennifer account so he could have Aaren Williams Striplin as his slave. He wanted to, he established a BB Jennifer account. He was trying to force that account in his name, and killed Helen Grace Striplin for her house in Las Vegas. Helen Grace Striplin McLeod Smith for her house in Las Vegas, and then killed Shantel, Stokes, and Darren Striplin, who could have had the house after her, in Rodale, California. That's what Joe Biden was trying to do. All right, so anyways, he establishes this account that with Maggie Chen, Seattle University School of Law, the introduction to cyberspace. And what this is it establishes territorial jurisdiction, bylaws, territories, sections, all of this type of stuff in cyberspace. What she's saying is wherever something happens in cyberspace, that's where it's happened in cyberspace, and that's where the person is held accountable for the actions. All right. And then they do this. You have to do a mock trial in order to get out of the hostage takeover location. You have to prove that you could run Xerox copies. You can fill out a cover sheet. You can do a complaint form. You can do a summons form. You could do a case, opening arguments, closing arguments, evidence, exhibits, witnesses, and all of this type of stuff in case law. So they were saying that you're either going to go to jail and be murdered with BB Jennifer, or you're going to file charges. So they had this list of accounts of who they wanted charges to be filed on. They wanted charges to be filed on themselves, wanted charges to be filed on Shantel Stokes, and charges to be filed on the FBI. And then there was something else. All right, so anyways, that was the whole little account. So whenever they came, and then they wanted ransoms, they wanted lighters, they wanted all of these different things, crystal meth pipes, Marlboro cigarettes, Newport cigarettes, condoms with sperm in it, and then they wanted the victim go to Miami, Florida, and so they can give a blood transfusion and try to give them AIDS so that they can do a date change and force the account into their name. So the bottom line is Biden stole heaven. He stole it from the Tabernacle of God, and then he decided that he didn't want the American people to have it. So he was going to say that he wants no witnesses to murder, so the American people can't get heaven. He wants no, and then we don't like where God man anyways. So you're not going to heaven in America. Meanwhile, he's selling it in different states to try to kill an African-American paraplegic by saying that he's from a different country and a transient. It's just crazy. Stay tuned. It's going to get interesting.